The biggest weakness with Super Witches has always been time. They're awesome at taking down the base, but they can't do it in 3 minutes time. But thanks to the new Warden hero equipment, the Rage Gem, you don't need to worry about time anymore. In this video, we're going to show you the top 2 Super Witch attack strategies, starting off with Super Witch Smash. Now, you can already see the Rage Gem on the Warden being put into use. Now, generally, you don't want to use the Rage Gem with armies that already have a lot of Rage spells like this one you see here. Why is that? Because the Rage spells and Rage Gem don't stack. So if you put a Rage spell on your troops inside the Warden aura, the Rage Gem will be ineffective. They will just be taking the Rage spell addition of damage. So keep that in mind. However, it makes sense with this army because look, with 50% extra damage from the Warden Walk, I just saved 16 or 17 seconds by having the Rage Gem with the Warden Walk. And given how important time is to Super Witch attacks, 16 or 17 seconds is huge. So definitely worth it in my opinion. We have the King and the Siege Barracks on the top side. Notice how early I placed them to make sure the funnel was really good for our Super Witches here. These Super Witches go straight in. Couldn't have asked for it to be better myself. Keeping in mind that ranged units are a lot harder to funnel than melee troops. So Super Witch being a ranged troop. RC on the top side to help out the King. Unfortunately, our CC's on the outside of the base. Not much we can do about that. Haven't popped the Warden ability yet. You always want to wait on it as long as you can with Super Witches. We get through the Town Hall and no complaints so far. We put down the Rage spell yet again. Whilst this Rage spell is in effect, the Rage Gem hero equipment is doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just so you're absolutely clear on it. But that's okay because it's already saved me probably 25 to 30 seconds in this battle. The Super Witches stay alive. We still have the RC with the Fox. And slowly but surely, we are going to clean up this base. Now, technically, if you did a really short Warden Walk with your attack, you might be better off bringing the Healing Tome because the Rage Gem won't do as much to help your Warden Walk. But if you like doing longer Warden Walks, then you're better off bringing the Rage Gem just so you can speed it up. Because, yeah, time is the biggest enemy. You can see how many troops we still have up, but in this attack, time is not going to be an issue. And remember, at the start of the attack, I told you we saved 17 seconds with that Warden Walk. And that's going to come in pretty important because you can see it would have been far closer on time if we didn't have the Rage Gem. That's not including the time we saved elsewhere in the battle. So hopefully that can convince you all the power of the Rage Gem. Coming in on this one, and yeah, and this is going to be another Warden Walk where I don't have to use a Rage spell because he is putting in work. Now, I could use a Rage spell if I wanted, but yeah, no point in doing it here. We set up our wall breaks on the top side. So we've got the 2 jump spells. You didn't really see them in action in the last attack because the base is so open, but you'll see why we bring the 2 jump spells in this attack. And I like bringing the jump spells because it means we don't have to rely on the log launcher. I'm going to come in with the Siege Barracks in most of the attacks today. The Siege Barracks is really nice at the moment, particularly with the new level P.E.K.K.A. and the new level Wizards. So we bring the Warden over. We've set that funnel on the bottom side so our troops are all going to go straight in. I put my King straight into the Monolith. That was not intended. That was not intended at all, but what can you do about it? Ice Golem freezes the single Inferno, and now the Barbs are doing a great job tanking. King dies on the top side, but he got enough of a funnel down there and even pulled the Poison Tower. Super Witches are coming across. That Monolith is going to try and look at the work the Monolith can put into the Super Witches. But the big boy damage coming in strong. And now we're into the core of the base. Obviously with this Rage spell, I'm going to keep saying this so you can all understand it. With this Rage spell in effect, all the troops inside the Warden Aura at the moment are not getting the benefit of the Rage Gem. But we've seen the value that's had earlier in the battle. I put the final jump down. Notice I put it on the left-hand side because I want my troops to go from the bottom to the top side of this compartment before jumping over the wall. Because I'm going to use my RC on the bottom side here when the time is right. Actually, I decided to use her on the top side. Wonder why I did that. That didn't really make a lot of sense, but anyway, we will go with it. Now, I believe Do I pop my queen ability here? This is a option where I could pop the queen ability early. Yes, it sucks giving up the ability, but it would give me extra healers so that they can sit on top of the super witches that we have, because they desperately need the healing. I haven't popped the queen ability yet though. Deciding to sit on it. I assume I will right now. There you go. We get the healers. They all die really quickly though, and that's, you can see the weakness of the healer puppet right there. But there are plenty of options where it is attack saving, and I think that's worth bringing it just for that. And yeah, look, we still have so many super witches still up. There's still 3 of them, so only 1 died, and this was the whole problem with super witches basically since they came out. They would survive, it would just be a time fail. Think of all the time that the rage gem saved in this attack. It was definitely more than 15 seconds. I think that's a time fail if you bring the life gem. Now we're going to move on to the second attack strategy with super witches, and it is Zap Super Witch Smash. And this one makes far more sense for the rage gem. Just concentrating on this Zap Quake here, that is the maximum range of the lightning spells there, so I had to place those perfectly, hence why I zoomed in a lot. But as I was saying, this army makes more sense for the Rage Gem because we've only got the 2 Rage spells. Now, I tried this army with 1 Rage spell as well, and 2 Freezes and a Poison. And having 1 Rage spell wasn't enough because you need the Rage spell some of the time. Yes, every Rage spell you bring minimizes the input of the Rage Gem, but sometimes there's so much damage on the base that just 50% extra damage that you get from the Rage Gem isn't enough. You need the power of the Rage spell. So we're coming in on the top side yet again, using the Siege Barracks with the King. It's just such a good combination. Look at these P.E.K.K.A. and Wizards clearing the entire outside of the base as our Super Witches get a beautiful funnel. And that's what you get a lot of with the Zap Super Witch combo. A much better funnel, and you can use any siege you want. Obviously, I went for the Siege Barracks here. Our big boys are slowly but surely going down, but that's okay. In a second, yep, look at those Super Witches spawn the big boys. It's so cool. It's one of my favorite interactions in all of Clash of Clans. I popped the Warden ability at the last possible second, and then the RC coming in on the right-hand side. Defensive CC comes out, but that's okay. Notice we only just used our first rage spell. That's what I love about Super Witches. You can be really slow with the rage spells, and I used the second one here because I know we're going to need all the HP to get through this back-end compartment. Look at that. That is a toxic compartment, but we've sat onto our freeze spell. The Titan, that is the Titan from my CC. What an absolute homie. Moving across the base to help deal with the back-end skeletons. Jeez, that is an MVP performance there. But yeah, we've just gone through this base. Nothing is left. 50 seconds still on the clock. And that is a GG. So if you forced me to answer, I'd probably say the Zap Super Witch combo is better. Don't worry, we have another attack coming in with the Zap Super Witch. But I couldn't tell you for sure. Both of them are definitely very strong. And their biggest weakness is taken completely out of the equation. I mean, look at how many Super Witches are up there. There are so many Super Witches up. That's so much troop space. But we still don't triple the base with a ridiculous amount of time left. So we're going to finish with a box base here. Let's have a look and see what we do. So we're waiting for this queen to step up so we can zap her with the scatter and the arch tower. Unfortunately, the ricochet cannon will stay up. Honestly, it might have been worth investing an extra lightning spell to get rid of the ricochet cannon, but alas, it's not going to work out that way. And from memory, I used the siege barracks on this hit as well. Yeah, I do. So all 4 siege barracks today. So I think that's pretty definitive for you, the power of that. Really quick Warden walk here. Notice that was 25 seconds. However, if it wasn't for the Rage Gem, it would have been 37 seconds. Quick maths for you all. So yeah, saving 12.5 seconds already. We get the Ice Golem down. Unfortunately, it won't freeze the Monolith, but that's okay. Then we have the King and the Siege Barracks on the bottom side, setting the perfect funnel. And the big boys are doing all the tanking. Now, in case any of you were curious, I did try out this army where I didn't bring jump spells, both for the Smash and for the Zap variants, and I brought 2 Root Riders instead. So I dropped one Super Witch and bring 2 Root Riders, and I couldn't get it to work consistently because you just don't have a good enough funnel to consistently get the Super Witches to go through the core of the base. And some of the time the Root Riders would behave, some of the time they wouldn't. So I decided it was better just going with the Super Witches. Of course, if you want, drop 1 Super Witch and bring 2 Root Riders and you can drop the jump spells from these army comps, but it is a little bit more risky to do that. Coming through the core of the base here, and you'll see why you need the Rages, right? We were under a lot of damage in the core of the base. Even with the Rage Gem, our troops are losing HP quickly, and we had to pop the Warden ability earlier than I was expecting. So that's why you do need the Rage spells, even if you're bringing the Rage Gem. But don't let it devalue it, because the Rage Gem already got its value earlier in the attack with the Warden Walk. RC's on the top side. We pop the Queen ability nice and early to get more healers out. We have more healers on the battlefield now than we did at the start of the attack. That is ridiculous to think about. There is 1 whole minute left, which is not something people often say with Zap Super Witches. So that's the video for you all there. These Smash armies are going to be so strong at Town Hall 16 with the addition of either the Healing Tome, which I reckon people will use with Super Bowlers, that will be really strong, or the Rage with armies that are slower, like you see here, or the Life Gem that we used with Go Wipe a few days ago.